PL-89, the time is 10:41 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is now the 6th day of Tevis, 5785. It is Sunday night, so it's still January 5th. And the PL-89 is a calendar that I have been working on for over 12 years. And it's something that it's a processor of sorts. It's a thought processor. It has a few different names. The PL-89 calendar. It's also known as the PL-89 thought calendar, and it's also known as the Mercury calendar. And it has, as you can see, 8-day weeks. And this entire period of time represents in its fullest capacity, a 90-day, but it can be 88 days or it can be 89 days. So, or maybe in some rare instances it might be 91, but generally it's a 3-month period. And according to the published data about the planet Mercury, its orbit around the sun is about 88 Earth days, like 87 point something of our days, our 24-hour days to orbit the sun. And so whole mercurial, you can say, year is just a quarter of a year of an Earth year. And that makes it very interesting to have this calendar. So basically there's 4 of these years in a full year. There's 4 Mercury years in a 365-day year approximately. And it holds the sun, meaning the Gregorian calendar, the secular calendar, just the regular secular calendar that we use, that January 5th, and which represents the sun. And it's not just by the sun, but it represents the philosophy of the sun. You might even say it's the non-Jewish world, or the secular or Gentile, maybe even you could say Christian world. And then you could say that the moon is the Jewish world, and shows the balance between the two, because it records them together in one calendar. So this day here is both the 5th of Tevis. I'm sorry, the 6th of Tevis, and the 5th of January, this rectangle here. And the reason that I started at 10:41 p.m. because Gematriona is very focused on the minutes of clock time. The actual minute means something because it's all Gematria based. And so there's a rule of the PL-89 that it goes by 40s. And someone once suggested that it might be a base 40 counting system. I'm not sure if it's exactly base 40, but it certainly has that idea to it, that it revolves around 40. And so 1041 is a direct descendant of 40, because 1041 is a direct descendant of 1. And right now we're on box 1. Tomorrow we'll fully be on box 1 because it will be January 6th. January 6th tomorrow, or even tonight at 12 a.m. January 6th will match Vav Tevis. So 1 is 141 because 1 plus 40 is 41, plus 40 is 81, plus 40 is 121, plus 40 is 141. So now that you have 141, you don't have to count anymore. You just go all. See, 141 is 341, is 541, is 741, is 941. Of course, is I'm sorry, I was counting wrong. It's 41, but in a different way. Look, 1 plus 40 is 41, plus 40 is 81, plus 40 is 121, 161, 201, 241. that means that 241, 441, 641, 841, and now 1041. You see how it's called a descendant? Because by 40s it goes up that way. 40 is the line that's like a plummet line. That's how you focus your intention on that 40, and it takes any number up, infinitely high or infinitely low, through that plummet line, which is 40. Okay? And so if you have that, you have some very interesting things that happen. And I like to include, this should include all the thoughts that you have, all the things that goes into your mind during the day, and all the things that are not just subjective but are objective. And to find out if there's some kind of a basic stencil, some kind of template that governs that. What I mean is that today was a Daf Yomi, Sanhedrin, number 19. And you see in this week, as explained before, it doesn't have to be one box. It could be each one of these that are next to each other can be made into one rectangle. They're next to each other. So we had 1 and 9, which this could become 19. So you see we were doing Sanhedrin 19 today. But what's interesting is that in Sanhedrin 19, it says it was talking about something like one of Saul's wives or something. It was like something, the father of Avi Gedor, the father of Gedor. So tonight there's someone, his last name is Avigdor. He just came in, but the Daf Yomi was talking about Avi Gedor. It's the same word. So how is it that someone is moving in here next door, and his name is one of his names, either his last name or his middle name is Avigdor, and in the Daf it said Avigdor. That's amazing. But what I want to find out is that can you predict that based on this calendar? Because if you knew all the gematries beforehand, I would say okay. But then you'd have to know all the Gemaras too, so that'd be very hard. But anyway, my point is that 19 came up in different contexts today. Now you have 1923, which was when Agudas Hasidei Chabad was started, and 1923 is also when the Daf Yomi started that year. And it was going to Tafresh Pei Dalet, Tafresh Pei Gimel, and then Tafresh Pei Dalet, actually, because after it was Rosh Hashanah. But anyway, so Avigdor is actually 226, Avigdor. And 226 is a direct descendant of 26, because 26 plus 40 is 66, is 106, is 146, 186, and then add 40 is 226. So Avigdor is Gematria 226, but it has its root in 26, which is right here. So do you see how different points of today were all in this coding, just in this line here? But what I was bringing out with 1041 is that the word emet, truth, in Hebrew has a numerical value of 441 in regular Hebrew gematria. And in fact, 1 is also a father of that number. That 441 is a descendant of 1. If you're using the plumb line 40 or extension 40 method, watch this. 1 plus 40 is 41. I'm just going to add 40s, okay? 41, 81, 121, 161, 201, 241, 281, 321, 361, 401, add 40 is 441. And so 1, the first thing you think of in Judaism is that there's one God. And that line extends to 441, which is emet. And another quality of God is that He's true. So that verifies the system that when you say that two fundamental qualities about God is that He's one and that He is true. And and they're both in the same line. See, 1 and 441, they're the same. So now I start this at 1041. So now you have another component that lines up. It gets streamlined. It's and so I think that's probably, and so 26. The move next door is 226. It's on this line as well. You have, it goes 32, 1, 9, 18, 26, 35, 3, and then 12. And I think that's about it for now.